4:41 a.m. on Sunday. I think the 25th. Oh wow, it's the 26th already. Um, I just woke up because somebody was outside, but I'm calling this sweet dream a beautiful nightmare because it keeps like it keeps haunting me with what that officer said, when I called about the dog poop and the parking. And then there's a lot of other issues that, I didn't discuss with him. But he was just like, oh, well, they made it clear that they don't want to talk to you. I'm like, what? That that bothered me. Um, it triggered me, like I said, in a few different ways. One was because, no, they didn't. And two, if that's the case, then they shouldn't have their dog pooping on my yard. If asked not to have those people park in front of my house, they should just not do that. In addition to that, the kids be over here, you know, peeping through the she shed and things like that. They would keep their kids on their own side and not throw bottles in the bushes and stuff like that. Certain behavior, when you're not acting appropriately, certain behavior causes someone to have to, address it, you know. And I did it in a nice way, a sweet way, and a friendly way. And it seems like the point of view that he was coming from was like, well, first he was saying, well, this is not illegal. But then he was like, um, you know, well, we don't want to make a big deal out of that. Even though he said it in a friendly tone and he had a brown face, um, he is of Latin descent. But basically, you know, nothing was addressed. But like I said, that statement triggered me because one, it even though, like I said, it sounded nice, it was recorded, but it sounded nice, but it didn't serve the purpose that it was to serve. And so, like I said, I don't ever need to call the police again. But whatever I do, I have to make sure that I know what the end goal is in mind. The end goal was that the point was that, the parking and the poop I had an issue with. And I have issue with the, trash being thrown under the bushes, the people in front, kids coming over here and stuff. But you know, that I don't want to speak to them either, but it's the behavior that causes me to have to address it. And I'm trying to be nice in addressing it as not to cause any type of issue. So I don't like that. So I have to figure out how to handle it. Like I said, I really would not have wanted to call the police. I don't think those, like I said, and I think the only purpose was to get my phone number, for the dispatch person, because animal control never called me. And then for him to intentionally say, oh, I was just asking so that I could give it to the dispatch so they could call animal control. What's the difference between dispatch calling animal control and me calling animal control? You know? So, it didn't escalate, it didn't do anything. I'm so disappointed. Like, I feel let down in so many ways. I feel let down in the way that, well, I already knew the police weren't going to do anything, but I think this is the part that hurts me too, like my spirit about it. It's like even though I knew that the police weren't going to do anything, when the police officer came out and he spoke, I hate, I love it, but I hate it. I love that I always try to look on the bright side. I like that, but I knew that they don't do anything, and it's I'm trying to put it into words because it does hurt, but it hurts because I feel like the innocent child in me came out. Where you're speaking to an officer because you're raised on officer friendly. The innocent child in me came out that, you know, wanted to believe that, that person, even though I knew my brain knows, but my heart, because of the way that you're raised, once wanted to believe like, that those people are good people. The officers are good people, even though I know that it's not. And then also the part that hurt is with the neighbors. The child in me came out because you want to believe that, hey, these are good people. So, and I need to write that comment down. It triggered me. If they don't want to speak to you, then they don't want to. They made it clear they don't want to speak to you. What? I don't want to speak to them either. But certain behaviors, will put you in a situation where you have to address it, and that's why. And I addressed it the best that I could, and I feel like that needs to be addressed. If there's behavior that's inappropriate, it's gonna put you in a situation where you know, any reasonable adult would have to address it, you know, and you know, and the police, like I said, don't do anything. And it hurts because I feel like, the way that I address those things, I kind of like the way an innocent child would, you know, with the best hopes and expectations. So I'm triggered by that. And like I said, it's a sweet dream because it's good to know the truth and the way that people think. And but if you don't do anything with the truth, like I already knew the truth that the police are not going to do anything. And even if they come with a smile because they know they're being recorded, that it's just to get information from you, you know. And I think what hurts most is knowing that people just don't care, you know. And the sweet dream and beautiful nightmare about it, please the police don't really care. And those people obviously don't care poop in somebody's yard. And they've been doing it for a long time. And I remember when I was on and there was another big piece of turd of shit all over the yard. But I remember when and it's even going back a couple of years, and probably what that officer did was took my information to tell animal control, which was a Hispanic guy too, because I saw them when they came to deliver something to the black people across the street. That oh, there's just a lot of dogs in the neighborhood. You can just disregard it. That's probably what they really did. But I guess it doesn't matter because they weren't answering anyway. So, but that hurts. It hurts to um, know that people really don't care in the most egregious way. You know, and that there's people that will stand 10 toes down to back that up. I mean, that's really. I was going back to a couple years ago when the poop problem was there. It's still there. It's always been. It stopped when I was really monitoring everything. You know, and so what scares me about this is that if that's what he said, even though he said it in a way that was kind, that if these people have these dogs pooping in my yard and then I say something to them about it and they do something stupid, that he's going to say, oh, they made it clear they don't want to talk to you. No, they didn't. If they didn't say that, they did not. They made it clear they were being rude and disrespectful and that they believe that it's okay for them to have their dog poop in my yard. It's okay for them not to have their dog on a leash, you know. And then and the way he leveraged trying to get my number to give to the dispatch was saying, oh, I said, I was just about to call them. Oh, are you sure that you dialed the right number? Do you know what the right number is? Why wouldn't I have dialed the right number? You know, or, you know, I don't like that. And that hurts. And it hurts the way, if you've seen, the way that I feel reminds me of when those three girls got kidnapped. Hear me out. When those three girls got kidnapped, the DeBerry girl, and how they were abused, and when she came out to talk about it on a talk show, you could see the obvious pain on her face from the way that she was treated versus the other girls, even though all three situations were bad. You know, and it hurts, and it kind of does something to me. Of course, emotionally, and emotional is connected to mental. And I'm gonna say it kind of makes you want to draw in, because when you do the right thing and you reach out, and it's dehumanizing is what it is. That's awful. And so, I have to look at it, they have six people or more that live in that house. And I heard what the officer was trying to say about, maybe, they have a small driveway, but then you plan for that. You don't put your situation as a burden on someone else. So that hurts. So I have to somehow kind of get over that, shake that off of me. But I guess the only thing I can do is plan my next steps, continue on with doing what I'm doing, be vigilant and watching. I'm going to put a gate up on that side when I get a chance. And I need to watch my electricity and my boxes, because I think they did something so that they could cut that stuff, because I remember being happy because my boxes were covered up. But now I need to do something a little different, because you know I need to put something over there to block it, and I also need to put a gate up. So I don't trust those people. And that's sad. You know, I mean, it's sad for me, I think, because, you know, in life in general, especially dealing with people, I've required the bare minimum. Just leave me alone, leave my stuff alone, stay out of my space, and I'm good. And stuff like poop, that's general respect. I would be horrified if someone said that somebody, I would never, have an animal poop in somebody else's yard. You know, and then that's the other thing. Like when you call the police, it's like you're confirming that you feel like they are the law, but they're not. They, you know. So I have to figure it out. And then if they act like it's right, it's right. It's not right. It's not okay. I don't like that. So I can't let it make me feel this way, because the way I feel, like going from head to toe, my mind feel like it's just shrinking in because it hurts, and then my heart hurts. But I have to take it from my mind and my heart into what am I gonna do? You know. When I get washed up and cleaned up in the morning, I should feel better about it. I probably should go ahead and do it now. There's nothing stopping me now. I would sleep pretty early, probably about 9 o'clock or so, if not earlier, sometime between 8:30 and 9. And I just woke up at 2. So I've gotten, if you count up the hours, it's probably about 6 hours of sleep, which is okay. And I could probably just take a shower and go and lay back down. But no, no, that did bother me. I saw a comment on here, but I was in the middle of talking. Cool Gent 87 said hello. If he's still here, hello back to you. I don't think anybody likes to be treated like that. This is the same way I felt like when I went to Piggly Wiggly And they didn't honor the card, you know. And the girl was just like, "Oh, I can say whatever I want to say." I didn't say she couldn't, but nobody wants to be treated that way. So I think that's what it is. I don't like when my feelings are not taken in consideration. Um, just as a human being, when do if you decide just to disregard that this is a human being, and you know that the way that you're behaving towards them is right or wrong. I mean, that doesn't feel good, to be treated that way. So part of me just kind of wants to brain numb and just go scroll through TikTok, which I'm probably gonna do, and then eventually get up and take a shower. Uh, I have a lot to do today, so well, I have a lot to do every day, and good things. I feel good when I'm productive and I get things done. But I did need to address those feelings, and when me verbalizing it isn't enough, I need to put it in writing. So, um, you know, and maybe that's what I should have. I do have a journal right here. I could write, but I don't want to write right now. But writing is, I think, more personal than typing. Typing, and I don't have my electronic devices plugged up, but writing is like pen to paper. It's something more personal about that. Like the paper absorbs the ink, and it's like absorbing your feelings. But I'll be okay.